Welcome to one of the best buildings in all of college basketball, Diddle Arena in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The site for today's Battle of the Bluegrass as the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky play host to the Colonels of EKU. Hi everybody, Barry Gresham. Great to be back in my old Kentucky home and thrilled to be with Hal Schmidt today as we're getting set for this matchup. Two old rivals, not the intensity maybe it used to be when they were conference members together, but still the juices get flowing when it's Eastern and Western.
There's no question about it, Barry. You can throw out records, you can throw out predictions, you can throw out all of that. When these two get together, it's going to be a slugfest. I look for a high-intensity game today, high-scoring game, but lots of action inside as well. So there'll be something for everybody.
Let's get right into our players to watch. We'll start with the visitors from Richmond. We'll go with a former Hilltopper, Isaiah Cozart.
Nice young man. He's really having a significant senior season for them, averaging 16 points, 11 rebounds. He recorded the school's first triple-double against Troy their previous game last week. So he's a handful, loves to block shots, and the Toppers will have to give him a little head fake to keep him off balance in the paint.
And for the Toppers, the Purdue transfer, Brandon Newman.
Yeah, Brandon came to us highly touted, high score, high energy, and he's all of that. He just has had some off-night shooting so far. Hasn't really lived up to the preseason hype. Although the last game he hit 3 of 6 from long range, that could be a precursor of things to come for that young man. He's certainly got the ability.
Those are our two players that we'll keep our eye on. One player that we already know will not be available, and that is Rodney Howard is out. As you see, A.W. Hamilton, who is in his 6th year in Richmond, the head coach of the Colonels. His team picked to win the Atlantic Sun this year, and they are off to a 3-2 start on the season.
He and Steve Lutz, if they put a picture side by side, could be related somehow. They look very similar.
There's a good look at Coach Lutz. 3rd year as a head coach, 1st year here at Western Kentucky. All he did in his 2 years at Corpus Christi was go to the tournament each year.
Yeah, he sort of came in the Southland Conference with a flourish and took his team there twice. So he moves to WKU. We'll see if he has the same fortune here.
Brett Smith, Steve Devine, Christopher Merlot, our 3 officials today. We're underway in the maroon-clad Colonels of Eastern Kentucky with Tayshawn Comer, Leland Walker, Devontae Blanton, Michael Moreno, Isaiah Cozart. They want to get it up there in a hurry and then get it off that backboard as Blanton misses the first look. And here come the Toppers. I mentioned Rodney Howard is out today, back spasms, so a change in that lineup. McHenry all the way to the rim, and that's what EKU can do, is block shots.
Isaiah Cozart with the first block for a Western shot.
A deep 3 by Moreno's off the mark. He is the epitome of a stretch 4. He will launch a lot of threes today. Here's Lander for WKU, the transfer out of Indiana, and the jumper back the other way. No need for the shot clock today, as we'll save some electricity as Newman misses that first look from 3. It pinballs out, and it looks like it's going to be EKU basketball.
Ball went over the backboard, so that turns it to EKU. See if they can score in their 3rd attempt here.
EKU 91 points per game, 7th best in the nation. They want to play what they call the most exciting 40 minutes in sports. They wanted an up and down game, and Steve Lutz in year 1, what we've seen out of him through the first 8 games is he wants to play that same tempo as well. There's a hack inside as Blanton tries to go up. He is the preseason Atlantic Sun Player of the Year and is a good one.
He is a good one. He came out of the corner and nobody was guarding him. I think someone missed an assignment there. They finally picked him up across the lane with some help defense, but you see on the replay there, Wu Marshall with the foul on the arm. Marshall, a very exciting player from Nashville. He's been a good addition for the Hilltoppers, played last year under Rick Stansberry, and is getting lots of minutes under new head coach Steve Lutz.
So Blanton, the senior, out of the Cleveland area, Macedonia, Ohio, a 60% free throw shooter. He cans them both. And our first points of the game come at the charity stripe. Here comes the pressure that you'll see from EKU today. And Lander able to gallop right through it, puts up the runner off the glass, won't go, and it's cleared out of there by Cozart. Another thing that he does really well is rebound at basketball.
Hilltoppers with 3 guards who can take it down and finish on the other end. That's McHenry, Lander, and Jackson.
Now 2 quick fouls on Tyrone Marshall. He fouls the jump shooter Moreno from 3.
This is a problem that Steve Lutz's team has had, and he's talked about it repeatedly, is we've got to be aggressive offensive or defensively without fouling. We've been plagued with foul problems all along the way, so he'll go to his bench early.
As Moreno knocks it down. Yeah, you're right, Hal. That's been the issue. averaging 21 fouls a game, just too much. I know you want to play the aggressive style. You're going to get fouls when you play this style, but it's been too much. And a lot of fouls like that, fouling those jump shooters.
And beyond the arc, I mean, you got to use a little common sense on it. Everybody wants to block a shot, but you can't be that aggressive with a low percentage shot, especially when you've got it defended well anyway.
Around the rim and out as Moreno only gets 1 of 3. His first trips to the line this year. The Toppers come back quickly the other way, and they turn it over.
Christian Lander a little too aggressive on that pass. It was well covered, and it would have taken a miracle to be able to catch and convert in transition that time.
It's Enoch Colombe that came in out of Canada, transfer from Indian Hills Community College. Here's Leland Walker. Walker, the floater. Fadeaway, good for Leland. He's a guy that Coach Hamilton really wants to step up the scoring this year. Right now, 12 points per game. All-out pressure, and the ball hits the inline off of EKU. It'll go back to Western.
Tops need to attack that pressure aggressively. You always keep an outlet man behind the ball when you're advancing the ball up the court. But look for the middle.
Lander will get trapped. He'll get it to Don McHenry, who's actually the leading scorer this year. One of the 8 newcomers on this Western roster. He shakes and bakes, has it knocked away from behind. Right to Newman. Swatted out of the paint by EKU's Cozart. Now straight away, the look from 3 is good. And the Toppers on the board with McHenry.
Good ball movement that time for the Hilltoppers in the half court. Found McHenry at the top, faked a pass to the left wing. Nobody really guarded him on that, so he just popped up and knocked it down.
So Comer, they're 2 guards out of Indianapolis, really good high school players. This time the shot blocked, Blanton went up, swatted away, you take your pick. Couple of Toppers there. Now Lander, McHenry, he'll step into the 3. It's a 2 though, had a foot on the line. And Cozart will track down the board. Now Walker from the elbow gets fouled. Shot won't go, but another chance for EKU to get to the charity stripe.
I mentioned Enoch Colombe. He's came from Indian Hills Junior College with assistant coach Hank Polona on the bench for Steve Lutz and WKU.
Brought along a couple of good players with him in McHenry and Colombe. Free throw time. Off the mark for Walker.
EKU not helping themselves at the line right now. Only 3 of 6. Toppers yet to get there. 3 team fouls on WKU, 0 for Eastern.
Walker, one of the better free throw shooters in the early part of the season at 78%. Gets 1 out of 2. 3 points for him. Only 60% are the Colonels at the stripe. And again, their 5 games they played were all at home. A very odd schedule as they're having some renovations done to their arena. And we're trying to play a lot of home games early. The runner won't go for McHenry. Will stay here on a grab underneath. And this could be Moreno for EKU.
Tough running shot down the right lane. McHenry, a left-hander, back across his body. High degree of difficulty. Front ironed it. Tops haven't really gotten any good solid looks other than the 3 that he made a few possessions ago from the top of the key.
Trying to get it in, we'll have just to lob it deep. And jumping all the way into the backcourt to take it is Lander. 6-3 EKU lead, only 1 field goal for the Colonels. They have lived at the charity stripe here early. They switch it up and show a zone. Lander with 5 on the timer. Rise and fires 3 off the mark for the lefty, and EKU will look to push. Stop and go all the way through. Ball knocked away. Steal. Toppers will run the other way. They've got numbers. Here's Newman. Get it over to Fay. Fay lays it up. Put it in.
Good 2-on-1 right there. Waiting for the defense to come to him. Delivered a nice pass to Fay for the finish.
Into Cozart. Man, he draws a crowd. 4 Toppers around him. Somehow he gets it out. Here's a 3 ball. Walker, right it down, right wing. All out pressure and a reach-in foul will be on Tayshawn Comer. Well, he bailed the Toppers out there. Things were a little scary there for a moment for Western.
Yeah, a couple seconds left on the 10-second clock to get it across half court, but it would reset if it was below 20. Stay at 23 instead. Tops will have that long to try to work from just beyond the half court.
Lander and Jalen Jackson in the backcourt. Jackson, the graduate transfer, played for Coach Lutz at Texas A&M Corpus Christi out of San Antonio. So we hit the 4-minute mark and a 9-5 EKU lead here in their first road game of the year. Colombe got it, blocked on the interior. Again, going straight up is Cozart. He's so good at blocking shots without fouling, and he's got his Colonel State to a 9-5 lead. As we head to break, we've got quite a battle here today, the Bluegrass battle, Eastern and Western. We welcome you back to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Isaiah Cozart off to a big-time start. He hasn't scored yet, Hal, but man, has he been a factor.
Oh, there's so many ways you can affect the outcome of a game, and he uses all those to his ability. He's a tremendous shot blocker. You see him right there. Nobody has blocked more shots than Isaiah has in the state of Kentucky in high school. So he came highly touted to WKU originally as a freshman, as a shot blocker, and he's certainly continued to flourish at EKU doing that very thing.
#1 in the nation coming into play today, 30 blocks. In fact, he had the first ever triple-double at EKU in their last ball game. They won at home against Troy. He had 10 points, 13 rebounds, 11 blocks against the men of Troy. What a performance, and that's something that doesn't happen every day.
No.
Yes, that was the first ever triple-double for EKU. They've been playing basketball a long time.
Yep.
So here's Walker off to the good start. He's got 6 points to lead the way for the Colonels. Bounce pass into the paint. Again, when it goes in there, the tops have been all over the interior. Leaves the 3 open, but Moreno can't hit it.
B.J. Marable with the rebound from the tops.
Again, Coach Lutz will play a lot of players as he's done all year. Lander, the lefty, hits the 3 off the right wing.
A good transition basket. Lander wide open on the right wing, able to knock that one down.
They back off Walker, and he shoots the 3 too long. It's going to go up and over the top. It'll be Western basketball. 9-8 Colonels by 1.
You know, the 3 ball's been a real bugaboo for the Hilltoppers this season. As a team on the season coming into this one, shooting 26% from long range. They saw their multi-year, 30-plus year history of a shot made in games come to an end this year against Wichita State. They were 0 of 21 in that game.
Yeah, dead last in the conference standings at 26%. As you mentioned, as a team, it's been a struggle for a team that wants to shoot the 3, and I think they do have good shooters. It's just, so far, it has not been working, and this one thrown away. And there's a youngster getting some play. You mentioned B.J. Marable out of Knoxville, playing in just his 4th game at 6'9". He kind of moves up in the pecking order today with Rodney Howard out with the back spasms. That is a big loss.
BJ's been limited in his play. You see that ball trickle off Lander's hands out of bounds, but BJ comes in with a, good body, good size inside, just has been limited in his play. Rodney Howard and Babacar Faye have gotten most of those minutes in the center position.
Quite a few changes in the EKU lineup as well. We'll get a whistle and a foul on the drive.
From Jalen Jackson for WKU, his first.
So EKU has Colin Cooper, the transfer from Central Arkansas, is in. He can knock down the 3. John Yukamata is in as well. Montavious Myrick. Devontae Blanton, one of the starters, stays in the lineup, along with Walker. Drive and hang, nice change in the air, but could not get the finish. Yukamata, and another foul.
Foul was on, I believe, Newman. Yeah, foul was on Newman, pushing inside. So he's trying to get a 20-second clock and inbound under their own basket.
Already 15 foul. Straight away at the foul line, the jumper is good. Blanton, 4 points for Devontae.
There's a reason he's the preseason player of the year pick in the A-Sun Conference.
Just very steady, and what a great closer he was a year ago. As EKU won so many close games, and they played through number 10. Number 10 for Western with it now. Brandon Newman out to Lander. He's been hot, and he stays hot.
Lander's starting to find his range from long range. He needs to. He's one that Coach Lutz really counts on to be able to hit some. He's only hitting at a 34% clip right now, which isn't terrible, but he can improve.
Cooper, they run him off the line, and they get an open look, and it blew the layup on the interior. Myrick, it's tipped out. Walker, he's going to step out of bounds or travel with it. And a turnover to Western.
Hilltoppers have not led in this one. They get their chance right here with a tie game and the ball.
So set to trigger it in will be Christian Lander, the senior, one of 4 returning players on the Western Kentucky roster. 8 newcomers, along with the new head coach, Steve Lutz. For the most part, Western's done a nice job breaking the pressure, but they will see it all afternoon long. Tough take. It won't go. Bounced off the iron. Everything is contested in the paint today.
That's one thing about a shot blocker. If they're not blocking shots, they're affecting shots, and they certainly did there.
And Cozart will get the offensive board, and he will get fouled. Marable will pick up his first. So this EKU team, Hal, 18 offensive rebounds per game. That's #1 in the nation. You talk about getting on the offensive glass. They do it.
And they're not dominating size.
Right.
They're just quick. They're active. They go to the ball. Cozart, a 48% free throw shooter on the season. 11 of 23 coming into this one. Gets his first chance here and banks it in. I'm not going to say anything about that.
Well, he's back home. He's shot a few times. He's used that magic square in this building before, and it works for him today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, if it goes in, there's no pictures in the scorebook, I've always been told.
Right. Turner Buttrey comes in. Speaking of coming back home from Bowling Green High School, former Mr. Basketball. There's #0 in the maroon is Cozart. Not as fortunate on the second one. Colonels back up by 1. Here's McHenry. Oh, what a take to the hole in the finish.
A little crossover on Buttrey. He went to his weak side. McHenry's weak side, his right hand, but was able to get around easily, have a layup.
Cooper will hand it over to Tayshawn Comer, who was the Indianapolis Player of the Year, high school state championship team, 3-star athlete, joined by Leland Walker. Those two came out of Indy. He drives on Jackson. Jackson got in front. He shows his quickness.
You see Jackson, those quick feet. I mean, he is quick laterally and coming off the injury. It's amazing how well he has recovered to have that type of quickness laterally. That's usually what suffers when you're coming off those lower extremity injuries.
Yeah, he missed the first 3 games of the season. Dante Allen is in. It'd be great to see him come in with the hot hand today. He's had his moments this year, but trying to consistently hit from deep. The tops of the 1-point lead.
Allen right at 30% from beyond the arc so far.
Jackson with 2 on the timer. He'll launch the 3. Off the mark. Cozart, guess who, gets the rebound. Comer, this ball knocked away. It's off the official. It's in play. Jackson wisely picks it up and goes. McHenry hangs in the air. Picked back up, and a foul on the interior as Newman got on the glass.
Boy, lucky break for WKU. That ball was going out of bounds for sure until it hit the official and stayed in. Jackson heads up, picked it up and headed the other way. Newman have to earn these at the free throw line, but really heads up play kept that ball alive for the Red.
First on Cooper. 15th foul on EKU. Brandon Newman at 65% on the year out of Valpo, his hometown in Indiana. Played at Purdue, had a chance to see him play a year ago, and he got a chance to play with the College Player of the Year, and he learned how to feed the post a lot in his time at Purdue.
He doesn't have quite the target here that he had up at Purdue.
For Steve Lutz, part of his coaching career, spent at Purdue. Beautiful drive and a great finish. Hanging in the air, Yukamata.
Really nice up and under play for Yukamata, scoring from the right side. Fouls. Buttrey with his first. That's the 16th foul on the Colonels. Both teams with 6, so we'll see bonus free throws from this point on for both sides.
And you anticipate that with this kind of defensive pressure both teams apply. The all-out press that Eastern Kentucky will play for 40 minutes. McHenry, oh, he's feeling it today. Knocks home that 3 ball.
Toppers are 4 of 8 from long distance. There have been few games where they've had that kind of consistency, but that's what they need.
Ball deflected, but up high to get it. Yukamata. He will drive. Kick it back out. They'll reset. Comer waves off the screen. He wants it from Cozart. 3-ball, right side, way off the mark for Yukamata. It'll be Western Kentucky basketball when we come back.
Hardest ball to rebound is one that hits nothing up above.
18-14, Western at home in the 161st meeting against the Colonels. We'll be back with more after this. We welcome you back. Well, the big issue for Western this year has been the three-point line. As a team, just 26%. You wouldn't know it today, and you knew there was going to be a game when they could break out of that, and so far, today's been the day.
Yeah, McHenry and Lander for WKU have found the range. Both of them 2 of 3 beyond the arc as a team. Toppers 4 of 8 from long range, and that's a welcome sight, I'm sure, for Coach Lutz and the entire coaching staff, who has just struggled with every miss that these guys have launched up there this season.
Well, EKU, they've been able to build their early lead thanks to the free throw stripe. At least they got there 9 times. They've only made 5 of those. Toppers have been to the line just 1 time. They hit both free throws. That was Brandon Newman. As they continue to face pressure, and so far just 2 turnovers for Western against this full court press. So Jackson, McHenry, Newman, Dante Allen, Baba Carfei. The 5 for Steve Lutz out of this timeout. Allen got it up to the glass. Somehow it got through Cozart, but didn't go. He follows it back up, off the back of the iron, won't go, and ripped down by Moreno. Now Cooper to Moreno, and they'll swing it for Comer. Buttrey can shoot it from here in Bowling Green. He's hit 11 threes this year. Cooper, also a transfer shooter from Central Arkansas, hit a bunch a year ago. He's off the mark here early.
Colonel's only 1 of 6 from long range.
McHenry pulls up, foul line. The runner is good.
That's really been his trademark so far this season, is being able to get in the paint and either score or dish. He's done a nice job of both. Been the most consistent player in a Topper uniform so far.
He's got 10 to lead all scorers, averaging 12 a game. The high point man on the season thus far for WKU. Cozart trying to spin, and he traveled with it at the right block. Lost his balance as he banged into Fay and turns it over.
Fay didn't give him the resistance, I think, that Cozart was looking for, and he lost his footing and went down with the ball. So that's a travel. That's the 5th turnover for the Colonels. As you mentioned, Barry Tops only with 2 so far.
These teams will force a lot of turnovers with their style of play, each coming in forcing their opponent into 16 turnovers a game. It leads to easy buckets, which Coach Lutz desperately wants with this group, especially till they find that shooting eye. Ball deflected out. It's going to stay with the Toppers.
.22 on the shot clock, so plenty of time to work in the half court.
Western's biggest lead right now at 6. EKU had a 5-point lead early. We've had just 1 tie as we near the halfway point of the first half. Newman's 3-ball, good.
Newman finds the range, gets on the 3-point parade for WKU.
His 13th make from downtown this year for the senior transfer out of Purdue. 23-14 is the crowd enjoying what they're seeing in the last few minutes from the Toppers. Blanton will drive, puts it up there as he hears the whistle. He'll draw the foul. I think he'll get Allen. Dante will pick up his first.
Blanton only 4 points at this point, 1 of 3 from the field. He is to be contended with, so the Toppers are doing a pretty good job focusing on him. He's quite a player, though. He can score from long range if you don't guard him, and if you do, if you crowd him too much, he's certainly capable of putting it on the floor and scoring at the rim.
His first miss at the stripe, had hit his first 2. 4 points for Blanton. Last year made the ASUN first team, made the all-tournament team in the Atlantic Sun tournament and the CBI tournament. As 2 bounces on the rim, won't go. Blanton's going to get the rebound, though. Reverse it up and in.
Well, that's a gray hair producer for coaches, seeing guys score on the offensive board from a free throw.
Now Cozart got all ball. Normally, though, when you swipe down, you get that whistle from the official, but he's already got the reputation of a guy that blocks cleanly, doesn't foul. He gets the benefit of the doubt because normally 9 times out of 10, that's a foul right there on the swat down, but not there.
Do you think officials are aware of players like that and what their skills are?
I think so. When this guy's leading the nation in shot blocks, and he's just not, this year. He's been doing it really his entire career.
Yeah.
It's just now it's magnified with the more minutes that he plays, and he's leading the nation. EKU needs a bucket. 23-16 they trail. Comer, their point man, the sophomore. Baptism under fire a year ago as a point guard as a freshman, and he held up quite well for a team that finished 3rd in the Atlantic Sun. Blanton's bounce pass somehow got through to Moreno. Comer will probe, dump it. Cozart will get the dunk.
That's a high percentage shot. Nice little dish off with the left hand to Cozart. Catch and finish.
His first field goal. 3 points for Isaiah, who's out of Richmond but played here at Western Kentucky before transferring. Now Lander's been hot. They'll swing it for Allen, almost lost it. Dante will rise and fire, short corner, knock it home.
Dante's got such a pure shot. He's trying so hard to hit from 3 this year, and it's not coming to him, but he's capable of doing that right there, creating a shot for himself off the bounce and hitting the short-range jumper from the baseline.
And hopefully that, for Dante's sake, will unlock his 3-point game as he puts it on the floor. That's the scouting report. Run him off the line. He knocked it out of the hands of Blanton. That ball got right to the midcourt stripe. And the officials say it didn't go over. Blanton will pull up, knock home the jumper. That's his game right there.
He's a hard player to guard, I tell you. You really rely on the bounce. You've got to rely on help defense, but you've got to crowd him. You can't give him any space at all on the jumper.
5-point game as we hit the 8-minute mark here at Diddle Arena. Glad you're with us and taking a break from the NFL as you're tuned in for some college basketball on this Sunday afternoon.
NFL playing today?
I think so, yeah. That's what I heard. Pretty big game going on right now, but we've got an even better game here. Fay had the ball knocked away, so he didn't travel. Fans wanted a foul call. 4 on the timer. It's knocked away from Dante. I think he knows it. He'll launch and fire the deep 3 and hits the lip and won't go. Now Blanton, he gets in a groove. He takes over a game. Swing it to the cutter. Comer had it knocked away. Some contact, no call. Western's going to run it up the floor. Somehow Don got to it, laid it up, won't go. Tipped out, here's Moreno. This is the kind of game I thought it would be. Back and forth, what a steal! But he's out of bounds. Great job coming over is Newman.
Well, that's a great hustle play. The fans in Diddle Arena love it. They love those hustle plays.
Yeah, you see it there, the great hustle, but he's sliding out of bounds. Western by 5, back for more after this. Hilltoppers lead by 5, 25-20 at the 7:18 mark of this first half. Good look at Don McHenry out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Transfer from Indian Hills Community College. He's off to a great start today, Hal.
Yeah, he's leading the way for the Toppers. 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from long range. First to get into double figures for either team. Don's been the most consistent player, shooting about 48% from the field. Leads the Tops in assists as well, with only a handful of turnovers. So he does a nice job taking care of the ball, scoring when needed, but delivering when that's needed. And he's been quite the player for the Hilltoppers so far.
He was a JUCO first-team All-American a year ago, 15 points per game at Indian Hills. Had a high of 22 this year in the big win at Murray. 6 double-figure games for Don, and make it 7 with the one today. They get it to Cozart right at the rim, and he blew it, followed it back up, and it comes off again. I thought he knew these rims here. What's going on?
Maybe he's too familiar with them. I don't know.
Maybe they've changed him since he left.
Hard luck, though. He had 2 good looks there, just couldn't get them to go down.
Newman's pass picked off, tried to go down on that baseline and rifle one cross court. Overall, Tops done a nice job. His 4th turnover. Not many against the press. There's a long 2, knocked home by Walker.
Newman Walker averages 13 a game, certainly to be reckoned with. Tops will have to button up on him a little bit.
Well, just as I said, the press hasn't bothered Western. They turn it over in the backcourt.
That's back-to-back turnovers for WKU. That's their 5th of the afternoon, about caught Eastern's 6th.
Now Walker, the first 4-star recruit ever at Eastern Kentucky, drives right down the paint and missed it. Cozart had the rebound, goes between his legs. Blanton wanted to go up, and he kicked it out for a three-point look, and Cooper will get the look off the right wing.
Those second chance points are so valuable, and you saw 3 of them right there on the kick out to the open three-point shooter.
Just 2 for 7 behind the arc are the Colonels. That's one of their weapons. They make 9 a game, but they've been cold here early.
7-0 run right now to tie this one up.
And a nice little floater by Newman is good. 7 for Brandon. Tops back in front by 2. Now Blanton will dial up the 3 ball off the mark. Newman a good strong rebound.
Well, you better come down with it strong because Eastern is digging at that ball whenever they can. They'll steal it from you if you don't protect it.
Landers 3, right corner, won't go. Blanton shoots the 3 ball pretty well at 41%. Doesn't shoot it a lot despite all the scoring. That's not a big weapon for him. He's hit 5 so far this year. This guy shoots it a lot from 3, that being Moreno as he gives it up. Walker's going to dial up one from long distance off the mark, and EKU just can't find their rhythm. 33% as a team on the year, but in their 2 losses, surprisingly, they lost to Prairie View A&M at home and to UT Martin. They couldn't throw it in the ocean, what I've been told, at both of those games from 3.
Could not, but despite their shooting woes right now, they're still just down 2 to WKU on WKU's home court.
So Cooper will apply the pressure to McHenry.
No trapping this time in the full court, just man-to-man. So McHenry brings it up against the pressure.
McHenry with that great crossover can get by on the dribble. Maribel again seeing some minutes here today with Howard not available. Lander, tough shot, followed back up. BJ can't get it to go. And the rebound is pulled down by Montavious Myrick, who's in out of Atlanta, Georgia, a JUCO transfer, new to the program at EKU. Walker with the step and the finish and the foul.
Well, WKU having trouble on the short shots today, Barry. They're hitting at a pretty good clip from long range, 45%. But they're shooting from the field not very good. They're missing on a lot of close ones. Do you think the shot blockers have something to do with that?
Second foul on Lander.
Eastern already have 4 blocks. Isaiah Cozart owns all of those. But it doesn't take many blocks for it to get into your head, so anybody coming in the lane knows that they're there.
It's 11 for Walker. He comes in averaging 12. 4th double-figure game for Walker, and he's the guy. The spotlight is on a bit this year as they return the bulk of their team. Here's a turnover again in the backcourt. After a really good about 15 minutes of play or so, Western has given it up here late in this first half.
And Maribel tried to hand the ball off to Jalen Jackson, but he was closely pressured by Cooper for Eastern and dislodged the ball off the knee and out of bounds.
6 turnovers are evened up, and a deep 3 ball. Cooper, he can heat up in a hurry as well. He's hit 2 already, 6 points for him in off the bench, the senior out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. This time a foul in the backcourt, trying to force another turnover.
I like to watch the full court pressure for Eastern Kentucky. The off man, the off defender just kind of eyeballs it, and when he feels it's right, he'll release and go try to double team the ball. So unless you're the WKU player whose man has left you, unless you're paying attention, your man's going to get gobbled up in a double team. So you really got to be on your toes against that pressure.
1 and 1 won't go for Jackson. As he was fouled in the backcourt, that foul was on Cooper. Now Walker with his quickness across the timeline. Faked that 3, dumped it inside. Myrick tried to slam it home, and he'll get fouled. Colin Bay's going to get him his first.
Well, that's a good foul. Myrick is 3 of 6 from the free throw line on this early season. As you mentioned, as a team, the Colonels shoot 60%. Not very good.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for this team at the stripe this year. Myrick, as you mentioned, hasn't been there a lot.
I think statistics over a short run, obviously, are not very telling. They kind of give you an indication, and they only become, you know, more significant as the season goes on. But right now, 60% free throw shooting team, that, man, you can leave some wins on the table there.
Myrick had 11 points in their first 2 games and has not scored since, as he tries to crack the scoring column here, and he will. Started his career at Northern Illinois University before going to South Union State Community College. He's out of Atlanta. And here comes the press again. They'll back off, won't trap, at least not showing it. And Jalen Jackson will walk it up for the Hilltoppers. Back and forth we go. They're down 5 here. Need a bucket. McHenry's 3. Good out of the right corner.
You dialed that one up for him, Barry. It's a 6th make from long range for the Hilltoppers.
Cuts it to 2, or under 4 to go in the first half. The Colonels have not won in Bowling Green since 1978. Jumper straight away, good. Contested 3 by Walker.
Walker was a 27% shooter coming into this one from long range, 4 of 15. He's 2 of 4 tonight.
14 for him. Jackson penetrates. That spot's been good. That corner won't go this time as it rims out as Enoch Colombe tries one. Now Walker on that crossover. Jackson got him.
Jackson's 2nd.
So Jalen's going to pick the foul up, and that will lead us to a break. Back and forth we go, each team trading leads. And right now the Colonels are on top, trying to get a win in Bowling Green, up by 5. Back for more after this. Back here in Bowling Green at Diddle Arena. Biggest lead today for EKU. They started out on a 5-0 run to begin the game. They're back up to that 5-point lead now, and they can thank one guy for it. Is having a great ball game here on the road today, and that's Leland Walker.
He averages 13 on the season. He's already got 14 here in the first half for Eastern. He's been their inside-outside guy, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from long range. He's been mighty good for the Colonels. See him working against the one-on-one at the top of the key. Takes it inside to score, but he's hit a couple long range also.
Leland's high point game this year. He put 21 on the Skyhawks of UT Martin as he hits double figures for the 4th time this season already in this first half. Averaged just under double digits a year ago as he's at the stripe. And he's now 3 out of 4 from the charity stripe today. A lot of iron, but gets them both. Walker set the EKU record earlier this year at 16 assists in a game against Wilberforce. So he can do it all. Biggest lead for EKU, 37-30, under 3 to play. Tops perfect at home, 3-0 this year. EKU playing their first road game. Foul, and the bucket goes for McHenry. Got one by him that time.
Cozart's got the better of him so far, but that time McHenry from the strong side for him. That left side again got it high off the square over the outstretched arms of Cozart, and McHenry would get a chance for the 3-point play at the charity stripe.
And the big afternoon continues for McHenry. 16 for Don.
2 point guards leading the way in scoring for their respective teams.
Whoa, there's a foul. Colombe got Walker. He's a tough guy to keep him in front of you with a great handle off the dribble.
Listed at 6'1", 185. He's a sophomore. Lots of upside.
And again, number 1 and number 2 for the Colonels are 2 starters in the backcourt. Comer and Walker, best of friends, both from Indianapolis. Comer the 3-star, Walker the 4-star. Comer's team, the high school state champions in Indiana. And he was the player of the year in the city. One of the things, you know, that has shocking really about Eastern Kentucky's team is they get so many guys back 4 of their starters return about 70% of their production. In this day and age of college basketball, that's unheard of.
Oh, it is. They only lost one player, and that was to the pros. He was a foreign player, went home for the summer, and decided to stay home and play professionally. So, as you said, in today's world, it has certainly changed. The portal and the NIL have changed that, and you're going to see much more of a revolving door in lineups.
Colonels mix it up with a 2-3 zone. Tops reverse it. Get an open look. Newman off the mark. Tipped out. It's going to go off of EKU. It'll stay with the Tops.
I think Newman was a little too open. Took too long to consider. Caught on that wing and had plenty of time to think about it. Maybe too much.
Newman's hit 1-3 today. Drive down the baseline. Offensive foul on Brandon. He'll give the ball right back to the official and head down the floor. He didn't like the call.
Yeah, he did sort of lower that shoulder a little bit. That's usually going to get the whistle against you no matter what the rest of the play looks like.
Off the floor comes Comer, a team that won 23 games a year ago, Eastern Kentucky, the most wins of any team in the state of Kentucky, and they advanced to the finals of the CBI, lost to Charlotte. The runner by Walker, too strong, rebounded underneath, cleared back out by Yukamata. Now Blanton, he wants to go on Allen. Fade away. That is money for Devontae Blanton.
And more second chance points. Eastern leading WKU in that category 10-5 right now.
A very quiet 10 points for Blanton. That's how he does it night in, night out. Their leading scorer. Again, the Atlantic Sun preseason player of the year. You look up and he's got 20. And it's like, man, when did he do all the scoring? Just a very quiet assassin. Allen, they'll get him a look against the zone. And he'll knock down the 3.
His first opportunity tonight from the right wing, and he buries it.
That's 5 for Dante off the bench. A transfer from Kentucky. All the way under Blanton. No help defense. He lays it in.
You got to get in front of him. You can't just give him the baseline all the way to the backboard.
He even paused and waited for somebody to come, and no one came. He laid it in. Now McHenry will get the screen up top from Fay, who got the start. Again, the Tops today without Rodney Howard. Out with back spasms, 11 points, 5 boards for him. He has certainly missed in this lineup. And a timeout taken. It's the use it or lose it with 46 seconds to go here in this first half. And the Colonels in front, 43-36.
Yeah, without Howard in there, points in the paint also favoring the Colonels 12-8. Toppers usually handle that category, but not tonight without the big man Howard in there. See him in street clothes walking around the huddle over there, and he's walking rather gingerly.
See A.W. Hamilton in the middle of that huddle, now in his 6th year at Eastern Kentucky. And a good look at the birthday boy. I think Big Red had a birthday recently.
He did. They were celebrating prior to the game, saying happy birthday to him, and had a cake. And Red, I think he was blushing. You can't really tell because he's all red from head to toe. WKU won't play again until next Saturday. This is finals week for the guys, and so they will play next Saturday in Buffalo.
Tegan Moore has checked in, the freshman from Dry Ridge, Kentucky, played at Owen County High School, put up just incredible numbers in high school. 8 on the timers. Allen puts it on the floor, right to the rim, put it up, won't go, followed up off the 10. It would not drop for Fay.
Can't draw it up any better than that.
So EKU, about a 3-second difference in the clocks as they'll run it down. Play for one of the few times they'll slow it down. Trying to throw it back over his head, won't go for Yukamata. It's tipped up there like volleyball, and that time the Tops come out with it. Allen has time, but the pass was behind him, and it just kind of ate him up. He couldn't get control of it.
Had plenty of time, too. Tops got the rebound with about 6 seconds to go on the timer. Just got a little too excited on the outlet pass.
Yeah, you see Colin Bay throw it ahead. It was behind him, but he just couldn't get control. Now, EKU will have a chance to diagram one with 3.2 to go, and they lead 43-36. Again, they come in averaging 91 points per game, 7th best in the nation. They're number 2 in the nation in fast break points. at 23 points per game. And the Tops, no slouch. They come in 81 points per game as well.
Turnovers starting to mount up for WKU. They've got 8 now, 6 for Eastern. The handle has been somewhat elusive for the Tops early on. They are averaging way too many, but it is early in the season, as we mentioned.
So Moreno will trigger it in. You got to watch him as a trigger man. Could come back to him to launch a three.
Absolutely.
He's a three-point shooter unless he throws down deep. Instead, Walker. He'll trail the play, but Leland's been good. He got bumped and no call. Very lucky the shot didn't go, and very lucky there was no whistle, as Walker had a huge first half but could not get that one to drop. 18 points for him. He leads the way. Blanton with 12 for EKU. Don McHenry's got 16 for Western Kentucky, and the Colonels trying to get a win in this building, which they haven't done since 1978, but they lead here at the half. 43-36. We'll head to a timeout. Stay with us. Halftime is coming up in Diddle Arena here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's the Battle of the Bluegrass, WKU and EKU. Both teams back out of the locker room, getting set for the start of the second half. Eastern Kentucky with a 43-36 lead. Toppers won in Richmond 1 year ago, 66-60. And Westerners won 59 and lost 15 in this building against EKU. And if they win today, this guy's going to have a big hand in it because he had a huge first half.
He did. Both point guards for their respective teams really led the way in scoring. Walker was really good. He averaged less than 13. He's got 18 so far. He's been a real pest defensively as well. He's done a nice job for EKU at inside and outside. So his small stature belies his game. He has a really good game.
So as we look at this matchup here, Hal, for the second half, Toppers were able to grab a lead, thought had control of the game there for a while, had a 9-point lead, but you got to anticipate ebbs and flows when you have teams that play this style. But what are they going to need to do to try to keep the home court unblemished here this year?
Well, their defensive pressure was not as good in the second part of the first half, and that's when EKU was able to settle into a little bit of a groove and find a range. They were able to get into the paint, breaking down our defenders on the perimeter. We're not getting much help defense inside, therefore they were able to score at the rim. So Toppers are going to need to really button it up defensively and exert their will, impose their will on their opponent here.
Good look at Steve Lutz, 16th head coach in WKU history, was the 2023 Southland Coach of the Year. 2 years as a head man and 2 years of the NCAA tournament. He goes 23-12 and 24-11 in his 2 years at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Got a win in the first 4. He knocked out the OVC's champ as the Red Hawks of Southeast Missouri won the OVC tournament. And Coach Lutz and his team got a win, then they lost to number 1 seed Alabama. But he's familiar, not only his 2 years as head coach, but 7 times as an assistant. He's been to the tournament, won Sweet 16, won Elite 8 at Purdue. He knows what it takes to get a team to the big dance.
And knows what a reward it is to get there. There's nothing like getting to play in the NCAA tournament. And these young men, if they ever get that opportunity, it's an experience they will never, ever forget.
23 times Western Kentucky's gone to the NCAA. Last time is 2013. You see A.W. Hamilton, that's his goal as well. 8 times Eastern Kentucky's been to the big dance, the last time coming in 2014, as he is in year number 6, a former OVC Coach of the Year back in 2020. For a guy who played some basketball in his day at Wake Forest and at Marshall. And he's, again, as we mentioned at the top, if you just joined us, but EKU is the team picked to win the Atlantic Sun this year. And as we look at the Conference USA predictions, the Hilltoppers picked to finish 3rd. Liberty, who was in the Atlantic Sun with EKU a year ago, is picked to win the league this year, one of the newcomers. And the old rivals from Murfreesboro picked 2nd, MTSU.
Yeah, that 100 miles of hate between Bowling Green and Murfreesboro, Tennessee is often talked about. There's quite a rivalry there that's existed for a long time.
And this rivalry as well, as I mentioned, 1914 is when it started. They're meeting today for the 161st time on the hardwood, but I think back prior to me really following these teams as a youngster, they were members of the OVC together from 1948 to 1982, and then when I got to college here at Western Kentucky, the rivalry had waned in basketball, but man, it was bloody in football.
Yeah, it's nice to see the rivalries in this part of the state that have existed. We have Eastern Kentucky, you have Murray State over in the western part of the state. Those rivalries are still very much alive. Now, a lot of these players don't know the history there, but the fans certainly do. The administration knows those rivalries and how important those matchups are year to year.
Yeah, it's special. You get a little juice from the fan base anytime it's these two schools going at it, really, in any sport. It doesn't go away despite being in different conferences. So here's McHenry. After the great first half, we'll get a screen from Fay. Looks for him, instead runs the floater up there and puts it in. Great start to the second half for Don.
Again, that's McHenry's game. He loves to get in there and shoot the little floaters.
That's 18 for McHenry. Get his High Point game 22 in the win on the road at Murray State. Let's see if WKU can do something on this end of the floor. As Blanton will back down and rise up. Little fadeaway, way too strong that time. And the top's on the push. All the way down into the finish is good. Tyrone Marshall picked up 2 fouls very early and went to the bench. He gets his first 2 of the ball game.
Now that was a good transition basket. McHenry out with it quickly and hits Marshall on the run from the right side.
Now McHenry against Comer. He'll get the screen from Cozart and swing it. They look for the stretch for Moreno. His 3 off the mark, much like Dante Allen. And here's a great offensive stick back. Put up and in by Walker. He's got 20 points now, but Moreno and Allen very similar. If they get one to go, they are streaky 3-point shooters. Now McHenry on the bounce, waiting for his screen. Here it comes from Fay. McHenry will pull up that left-hander. Looks good when he lets it go, but too much iron.
Online, just a little short, rattled in and out for him.
Here's Blanton. He lost the dribble and turns it over. Marshall, boy, he's brought the energy here to start this second half. Landry was very hot early. He lost the handle. No one can hang on to the basketball here to start the second half. Now Walker will reset it. Good matchup between the 2 number 2s today. They're both having big games. Blanton spinning at the block, swing it for a 3-ball. Walker in front of his bench. Around the rim, won't go, tipped out. There's another offensive rebound for the Colonels. But stepping out of bounds, Walker's going to turn it over.
The second chance points in favor of the Colonels in the first half, 10-5. You usually see that by virtue of offensive rebounds. They had 6 in that first half. So there's their first one right there. However, they were not able to cash that in for points.
Again, they're number 1 in the nation, and we are witnessing why. They get 18 a game. What a weapon to have. If you can't make that first shot, get that stick back. They've made a living at the early part of this season. Long cross-court pass over to Jackson. He'll drive into the paint, hang in the air, let the defender go by and put it in.
That was a tough shot. That defender was Cozart, the shot blocker for EKU. He flew past. Jackson came back across with his right hand.
Strong drive by Comer, and he'll get fouled. McHenry's going to pick up his first.
You see that reach around the body on the drive by Comer. Comer limited to 11 minutes in the first half, picked up 2 fouls. So Coach Hamilton decided to let him riot it out after he picked up those 2.
On the inbounds to Moreno. Now Walker's screen from Blanton. Good 2-man game between 2 good scorers there. Driving underneath, trying to dump it off. And there's going to be another turnover, it looks like.
Stepped out of bounds on the baseline. That's the 9th turnover.
You get a look at it here, and that's 2 on Walker, just running out of real estate.
Had 6 in the first half, already 3 turnovers in this half.
Fay with a wild shot as he banged in to Cozart down the floor. Lead is at 3 for the Colonels. Bounce pass down at the left block. Here's a hard double team. Thrown up there, wouldn't go for Cozart. Ripped down by Fay.
Good rebound there in traffic. Good defense by WKU.
6-2 run out of the locker room for the Tops, and Jackson all the way through with the left hand off the window.
Jackson quiet in the first half. Already scored 4 in this half.
8-2 run. Tops have cut it down to 1. The lob underneath, knocked away by Jackson. He is so active.
Oh, he's a real floor general, I think. He's a joy to watch. Very active, strong body, very fast as well. Surprised some football team somewhere didn't pick him up and put him in the backfield.
And he's a player that Coach Lutz knows very well. He coached him a year ago to that NCAA tournament. One of the leaders of the team. Ball knocked away and another steal. Here's Marshall. Boy, he's brought some great energy up the floor. Fay with a tough catch. Got it blocked by Moreno, and he's looking to get it out of there. Landers 3-ball. Good!
Bingo. That brings the crowd alive in Diddle Arena, one of the toughest places to play in the Conference USA when they've got the fans packed in here.
That's 3 threes for Lander. And Western has roared out of that locker room. They have taken the lead.
11-2 start to the second half.
And the crowd into it, trying to protect this home court against an old rival and trying to back down Moreno. There to steal, it's Newman from the floor. He'll throw it up ahead. Here's Fay outrunning everybody, and he'll throw it in.
That's got to be a timeout for EKU. Coach Hamilton has seen all he wants to see with this start for WKU. 13-2 has brought the crowd in it and taken the wind out of the sails.
Wow, these Toppers come roaring out of the locker room and have taken a 4-point lead. Timeout Colonels will be back after this. WKU on a 9-0 run. They have retaken the lead, 49-45. They've done it. Hal, you talked about it with defense.
Turned it up, and when you can turn defense into offense, that fuels everything. Your shot tends to want to fall a little better. This is a good hustle play. Brandon Newman from his seat with a great outlet pass down the court to Babacar Fay for the finish. That was a fantastic play. Couldn't draw it up any better.
Tops have forced 5 turnovers and got 7 points off those turnovers here in the second half. Again, to retake the lead. Now out of the timeout for EKU, they go to their star Blanton. He can't get it to go, but again, an offensive rebound. Tipped back out to him. He goes into the paint, hangs in the air, got the roll.
Soft rims right there. It landed like a butterfly with sore feet and was able to go down for him.
Cuts that lead to 2. No lead is safe against these Colonels. They will bring it with the pressure, and Cooper closely guarded. Jackson will pick it up. That'll be number 2 on Colin Cooper.
That's the kind of player Jackson is. He'll draw that foul. He does not relent and give in to the pressure.
Here's our under 16 media break. Tops leading by 2 against Eastern Kentucky. Back right after this. Western Kentucky with a great start to the second half. A 2-point advantage after trailing at the break 43-36 as they try to remain unbeaten at home and continue to be the kings of the Commonwealth to start the year. They've knocked off Kentucky Wesleyan, Murray State on the road, Kentucky State, Campbellsville, now taking a shot at EKU.
They've done it with the defensive pressure turnaround in this half. They've outscored the Colonels 13-4 in the half. 7 of WKU's 13 points have come as a result of turnovers.
And again, the first road game for EKU. They're coming off a tight one, a 1-point win at home against Troy. Really their best team they played thus far. And the jumper for 3 is good by Newman.
Comes from the start with Jackson breaking down the defense and getting into the paint. Kicks out to the corner. One more pass to the wing results in a 3 from Newman on the wide open look.
Now Blanton, he wants to set up Cozart at the right block. He bangs in the double team. Marshall tipped it away. Bad pass out and a steal. Here goes Jackson one-on-one with Cooper. Jalen hangs, puts it up, missed it, rebounded, and controlled by Cooper. He'll come the other way. But knocked away from him and another steal. Marshall on the floor, gets it to Jackson, now to Lander. The pace is quickening. Here's a 3-ball off the mark this time by Newman.
Trying to throw a knockout punch. Still a lot of time left.
Really love the effort by Wu, as he's called. Tyrone Marshall out of the Music City. Man, he's playing with great intensity.
Very much an energy player. Enjoyed watching him from the very start last year. And he has the best smile on the team.
Walker bounced twice. Oh, what a tip in by Cozart.
Yeah, Cozart a little off balance, jumped early for that one. The ball hung on the rim, but he was able to just poke it up and knock it in. Good second chance effort.
That's just 5 for Cozart, but he's a game changer in so many ways on the backboards and blocking shots. Had 4 blocks in the first half. Fay comes running down the floor and a soft touch, he lays it in.
Fay is one of the most patient players in the middle. You saw him give a nice head fake and ball fake to Cozart. Cozart went for it. That gave Faye the opportunity for the dribble and the finish.
Faye getting the start today. Transfer from the College of Charleston from Senegal. 5-point topper advantage. Always mindful of where Blanton is at. He wants to back down Newman. Good matchup here. Slips through, and this time it stayed home. It tried to pop out.
Gets the roll. What a nice one-on-one move right there.
He's got 16. Lander, no one stops the dribble. He's going to set up Newman's three, left corner. Too strong. And Faye fights for it, and it will be EKU basketball.
That's another thing that Faye brings to the table. He's a great offensive rebounder, works really hard on that on the offensive glass.
Maribel is in. He played in that first half for WKU. Column Bay back in with Newman, Lander, and Jackson.
Column Bay scoreless to this point.
EKU counters. They've got Buttrey from here in Bowling Green, former Mr. Basketball. Bad pass and a great steal. Up the floor comes Lander. Tops of the numbers. They get it down to Column Bay and he lays it in.
Man, defense to offense. Great anticipation by Lander on the weak side. Jumped in the passing lane to make the steal. Then it was off to the races.
Oh, great speed, one end to the other, and a tough finish. Everything's going to be contested in this game. You got to go strong to the rack. Blanton pass off the fingertips, but tracked down by Yukamata. Maribel with a tough assignment here. Here's Cooper's three. Too strong, and tracked down by Column Bay. Up the floor, EKU gets back this time. Now Newman wants to go on Buttrey, and he's fouled as he goes to the rim. They're going to wave it off. That'll be number 2 on Turner Buttrey.
They would let it go in the NBA, but this is not the NBA, so that just counts as a team foul.
Under 12 media break. Western up by 5, 11:49 to go as you're watching college basketball on this Sunday afternoon on ESPN+. Western Kentucky's outscored the Colonels 20-8 here in the second half. They've got 10 fast break points, none for EKU. How about forcing 8 turnovers and getting 9 points off the turnovers here in this second half?
None better than this one. A great steal in transition by Christian Lander with the dump off pass to Column Bay coming in from the left side. You see it from a couple different angles there. A good stroke finish. That was challenged at the rim. Column Bay able to get it through there and score it.
Lander having trouble getting it in. He finally will do so to Column Bay. Draws a double. Lander open for the 3. Well, that would have been a good one to go down, and we're going to hold it here as a foul, a grab underneath.
The marble was held. You could tell that time I couldn't see who it was, but his arm was pinned behind him. Oh, we're going to have a review. It's time. Must have been on the score sheet. It's time to have a review.
That's right. They all talked in that last media break. We haven't had a review yet, so.
Got to have one. Not sure what they would be looking at.
Got to let our DV Sport guys earn their money. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I think a hook and hold may be what they will take a look at and see. Yukamata got the foul. It's number 2 on him.
With points on turnover, it's a big turnaround there. EKU with a dominant advantage, 16-5 at halftime. I still didn't see what they were looking at.
Here it comes here.
There's a hold, but I don't know of any. I mean, they already whistled the foul. I'm not sure what else. But anyway, continuing that thought, the points off turnovers, EKU with a 16-5 edge in the first half. It's now 16-14, so the Top's able to get 9 points off turnovers early in this half. Also, points in the paint have exploded for the Tops. They had 8 at halftime, now 22, as many of their points are coming off of layups in transition after the steals and turnovers on the other end.
You know, we saw some of the turnovers in the first half for EKU. They only had 6, but a lot of those really were not forced by the defenses. We're getting another look at the play. Let's see if they have a verdict. Haven't had anything announced. They're coming back over.
Let's see if we can get it. All right, you were right. It was a hook and hold, which was a flagrant 1, so there'll be free throws out of this. You know, there's a new rule that slipped by me this year. Barry, were you aware of this, that players can now have a digit higher than 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was asleep on that. I've noticed some players coming into games. I've watched a lot of games, and I see the numbers 7, 8, 6 start to pop up. That changed, and that's been that way for a long, long time.
Yeah, we're seeing some unique and different numbers.
Oh, my goodness.
Way short. For Marable on that is he's 0 for 2 after that hook and hold call on Yukamata, that flagrant 1.
And maintain control. That's fortunate for WKU. That was that last one was not just short, it was really short.
Way short. As BJ's playing just his 4th game this year. They do get possession. They can't get that 3 to go. Well, a couple of game-changing threes if that left corner would open up for Lander, but it has not gone down the last couple of trips.
Top's got a good look moving the ball around the zone that time they were facing against DKU.
Now it's Comer. We'll get the screen from Cozart. Yukamata at the foul line, not comfortable with the jumper, drives and takes a tougher shot, and he put it in.
Marable might have gotten a piece of that shot on the help defense, but it didn't affect the outcome.
We'll see if the Colonels really turn it up defensively now with their pressure and see if they can get back in the open floor. As McHenry working on an 18-point game with the handle out front. A lot of dribbling, nothing happening yet. Crossover, blows right by Yukamata, but there he is. He erases a lot of mistakes. Cozart, another block.
That was a great block, too. The ball had clearly left McHenry's hand by a long shot, so no chance of a foul.
Comer not very comfortable with that 3. He did not want to shoot it. You could see why. Airballed it. As we'll see Fay and Jackson return for WKU. Newman will get a break, and BJ Marable as well. Seeing some more minutes tonight. Again, if you've just dialed us up, Rodney Howard is out, starting center for the Hilltoppers with back spasms. He averages 11 points, 5 boards a game. He's certainly missed today, but the Tops have played well. They've hit the ball. The deep ball has gone in so far this afternoon. The cutter is Lander into the paint, back out. Driving, Colombe wanted to set up the spin. The ball knocked away, and then Colombe's going to get called for the foul.
He went to the floor quickly, but took the feet out from under Buttry, who was also going for the ball, so that'll go against the Hilltoppers. That's 3 team fouls for both sides now.
Yeah, I think you and Randy on the radio side this year are going to have a lot of fun seeing who's going to lead in floor burns between Marshall and Colombe. They get on the floor, don't they?
They don't hesitate. I like that.
3-point Topper lead. EKU with the ball, trying to get their first road win of the year as they've spent the first month of the season at home in Richmond, but they've got some big games coming up. They'll play Purdue, and the ball missed. Long 3. Off the mark from Comer, just 31% from downtown. Does not look confident in that shot. That's why the Tops are backing off. Near steal, Jackson rescues. Now Colombe right to the rim, blocked away. Ball tipped around and finally controlled by Fay. He's got the size advantage. He wants to back down Buttry, and Buttry just grabbed him.
That's Buttry's 3rd foul. The shot clock never reset, so it got down to about 10 seconds.
And Leland Walker back in. 20 points for him tonight. Comer will get a breather. But Buttry again from here in Bowling Green High School's Mr. Basketball from 2022. We want to say big congratulations to the Purples winning another state football championship last night. I had the pleasure of calling their first one on radio back in 1995, and they won their 8th last night. Ball tipped around in a steal. Here's Cooper in the open floor. Collin will get by, dump it off, and laid in there by Yukamata.
That was really good interior defense by EKU that time, poking away the entry pass.
It's down to 1. Tough pass. Colombe high in the air to pull it down. He's lucky he got hit and got the foul because there's no way he's getting his feet down inbounds.
No, there was very little you could do. Then as a passer, you've got to recognize that. You see an open man, well, that's great, but is he in a position to receive the ball and do something with it if he was? And his momentum, Colombe's momentum there was going to take him out of bounds anyway, or at least close to it. He certainly couldn't have had a look at the basket from where he would have caught.
3 fouls now on Yukamata and Buttry, 2 bench players. Colombe has 3 for the Toppers.
EKU in a 3-2 zone this set. Ooh.
And bad pass deflected, but Jackson able to track it down. Now to Lander. Shot clock hits single digits. He'll pull up and knock it home.
Sweet baseline jumper for Lander. Top's able to recover. Oh, and look at him. Lander kind of waiting in the weeds right there, and EKU unaware of that. Made the pass into Walker. Walker had his back to the floor, and Lander made Walker catch and travel before he could put the ball down. Surprised him.
We'll take a look.
That's the 11th turnover of the half for the Colonels.
Yeah, just kind of jumped out and scared him there.
He did. Walker was a little lax on that, was not anticipating the pressure, and Lander stayed back. Did exactly what he wanted to do.
Turnover number 15 for the Colonels. They only turn it over 11 times a game, so give credit to that Topper defense, which has really picked it up here in this half. Allen back on the floor with Jackson, Fay, McHenry, and Lander with it. 4 on the timer. 4's got to go, and he knows it. Put it up high off the window, and it just cried out of there. Oh, it danced on the 10 and wouldn't drop. We get a tie-up between Moreno, and it looks like the possession error is going to go to the Colonels.
A lot of contact in there. Moreno did a good job covering it up and protecting it. I think Lander might have gotten poked in the eye in the ensuing scrum, but he's taken just a few minutes to regain himself under the basket. He's ready to go now, and EKU will bring it the length.
So Moreno, Walker, Cooper, Cozart, Blanton, the 5 in maroon for EKU. We get down into this 8-minute mark. A lot of times it's this guy's time. Blanton goes to work, put it in.
Yeah, he went straight to work, got that ball too deep on the block, and was able to turn and stick it right off the square.
18 tonight for Devontae Blanton. Comes in averaging 15 a game. Newman with the step, got it blocked and saved. What a great save that time by Blanton. Back into Cozart.
Cozart is at his game average for this season, 6 right there.
They're going to get that moving screen on Cooper. He'll pick up number 3 as we're going to head to break. This is everything we thought it would be. 58-57, Western Kentucky leading Eastern Kentucky in the Battle of the Bluegrass, and we'll return right after this timeout. 1-point ball game, Western Kentucky leading Eastern Kentucky 58-57. Devontae Blanton with 18 in the ball game, and as we're getting down to crunch time, under 8 to go, that's normally when he begins to take things over, and that's where he's lethal, right down on the block.
And you saw him give a real nice target to the baseline. He caught with his left hand, turned. Defense a little lax in closing out on him, and gave him all the room he needed from that distance. A little smooch off the glass, and 2 more for him. That was his 18th point of the evening.
You know, one thing that's impressed me out of the Hilltoppers today is only 5 assists for EKU. They've taken them out of really what they like to run. EKU's not hitting the 3 ball, 4 of 16. And another thing that I think is pleasing Coach Lutz here in the second half, after 18 free throw attempts in the first half for the Colonels, none here in the second half.
Quite a turnaround.
Here's Marshall. He'll dial up the 3. Got it. Woo, Marshall.
Marshall has not been really good from 3 this season, but that one was welcomed by this WKU bench.
Tyrone's making up for lost time. He set most of the first half. Blanton underneath, put it in, and he's fouled. He went back door, late help defense. He laid it in. He'll get a chance at a 3-point play. Marshall picks up number 3. And Blanton a chance at the 3-point play. Coach Lutz not going to like that one. First free throw of the second half for the Colonels. It rims out. 2-point game as Jackson across the timeline. Here's Newman. He wants to go on the bounce, and he's grabbed and held. And that's going to be number 4 on Cooper.
Cooper reached out with that forearm. Defense has got to be played with the feet. Cooper tried to arm guard him out of there, and that is a no-no in this game. Whistled for the foul. That is the 7th team foul on the Colonels, so free throws the rest of the way for the Hilltoppers.
Tops on the year as a team, 71% at the stripe. And the 1-and-1, Newman will get the bonus as he now has 4 points second half, 11 for the game. The 65% free throw shooter, redshirt senior, transfer in from Purdue.
Notice how he puts nice loft on that free throw. So many players, when they're having trouble at the line, you'll see that shot go flat. And it just makes that rim that much tighter when you're shooting it on the line drive. It's got to get up in the air.
Here's Walker, who's been quiet this half. Just 2 points for him. Leland had 18 in the first half. It's Blanton time, though, now. He backs down, sets up Cooper. 3, off the mark, and up high for the board. Take your pick. Having to fight one another in there, Newman and Fay. They know how important every rebound is.
Now, that was a good play by Newman, one that'll go unnoticed by a lot of folks, but he guarded the shot out on the perimeter, then released and went to get the rebound.
What a fake by Fay, all the way under, and then he got too far under and lost sight of the rim. Had a point-blank look at it after a beautiful fake.
Yes, it was.
Now Walker, he's going to try to get going. Offensive foul on Leland. He picks up number 2. What a job defensively by Jalen Jackson.
I'm telling you, Jackson can be a difference maker, and I look for good things from him this season as he continues to convalesce from his injured foot early in the season, but he sure shows no signs of having problems with it.
And Walker's a tough guy to keep him in front of you, and Jackson moving those feet, able to draw that foul.
Jackson only 4 points here, but he's got 4 assists and a turnover, and he's forced some issues off defensively for Eastern.
Hard trap in the backcourt. And a little exaggeration by Newman's going to get the foul on Comer. That'll be number 3 on Tayshawn.
Good aggressive defense. It's hard to play good aggressive defense and not foul somewhere along the line. Toppers are being rewarded this half for really creating the contact that's getting them to the line.
19th foul on the Colonels, just 3 on the Hilltoppers this half. And 1-and-1 time again for Newman. He was just at the stripe and knocked 2 down. Preseason All-Conference UA selection, the newcomer to the league this year, again from Purdue.
Newman 4 of 4 at the charity stripe tonight. It's been good, 13 points. I'm sorry, 5 of 5. Now 6 of 6.
All right, must be early in the year. You couldn't even jinx him.
You don't believe in the broadcaster's jinx,
Oh,
sure.
yes, I do.
Do you really?
Oh, yes. It's happened too many times. Crowd rising as one, 65-59, trying to urge the Toppers on to a win in this rivalry series. Blanton rocks the baby to sleep, tries that 3 on his crossover, and it's too strong. You want him out on that perimeter. He can hit the 3, but he is deadly below the foul line. Here's Jackson, will swing it. Marshall, now to Allen. Newman, off the left block is Fay. Bangs into Moreno, got the size advantage, went up over and put it in.
Babacar Fay did a nice job working the bigger-bodied Marino down deep into the paint, able to get the soft baby hook to go down for him.
The lead is 8 as Walker struggles with the dribble. Blanton left it short. It's tipped out. It'll go to WKU.
So Cozart knocked that out of Fay's hands, out of bounds there on the baseline. So the Toppers facing pressure still. Bring it the length.
Landers back in. Jackson will break it this time easily. Just run away from it. 8-point lead. Now to Jackson. Marshall. They swing it. Here's Marshall between the legs into the paint. Cozart goes up, altered the shot. It won't go. It's tipped out. It will go to EKU.
Marshall with a nice crossover, found a little bit of space, but it quickly closed when Cozart dropped in there to give some help defense. Not a good shot.
Now Comer will let it roll and pick it up just before the timeline. Little weave out high. Blanton to Walker. Cozart will screen for Leland. He tries to get the step. There's a hand check on Lander.
Yeah, that's the 4th team foul now on the Hilltoppers. So a couple to give before Colonels make it to the bonus.
8-point game. It was a 7-point EKU lead at the break. 31-16 is the scoring totals in the second half in favor of the Tops. Moreno, who has been quiet today, has not hit a three, only has 1 point. Comer has yet to score. And a ball deflected in a steal. Here's Marshall. He'll angle out to the left side and wait for the rest of his teammates.
This is the point where you don't want to force the issue. If you don't have a shot there, kick it out.
To Lander. Got it! Right corner three ball. Good for Christian Lander.
He's hit 4 of 8 today. Christian Lander has had a fine offensive outing.
14 for him, 70-59. Walker will rise and fire and knock it home from 13, and a quick timeout for the Colonels.
Briefly was the Hilltoppers' largest lead of 11 points, now down to 9 on that Walker jumper.
We'll head to a break. The Colonels take their timeout for a late push. Western trying to get this victory here at home, leading by 9 in Diddle Arena. 4:16 to go. Western Kentucky leading Eastern Kentucky 70-61. Tops had their biggest lead of the game a moment ago, 70-59, before Leland Walker knocked down the jumper to give him 22 points, and that quickly led to a timeout by A.W. Hamilton. That'll leave his Colonels with just 1 timeout to use the rest of the way. And the Tops have 3 timeouts available. Just glancing at the stats in the second half, EKU is 0 for 7 from three-point land. They've only been to the foul line once, and they missed the front end of the 1-and-1.
What a difference a half can make. They had such a commanding lead in points off turnovers in the first half, 16-5 over the Hilltoppers. But this half, they've only gotten 2 points off of turnovers. Toppers have gotten 17, so they really forced the issue defensively. Had a much more solid second half. Had the Hilltoppers.
Beg your pardon, that free throw was a miss by Blanton on a 3-point play. The Tops have only committed 4 fouls. Near turnover.
Still
and
in question.
Fay comes up with it, and they leave him open. Big step past Cozart, and he blocked it anyway. Newman there to clean it up.
Yeah, Babacar, pretty gutsy play, taking it right into the teeth of Cozart. Cozart got it, but the Hilltoppers able to clean it up and finish with it.
Blanton will dump it off. Yukamata is out there, and Cooper out of Walker. Walker's going to step into a 3, and it was a frozen rope. Line driver just hit the front of the iron. Here's McHenry, his crossover, his runner. Off the back of the iron. What a tip by Fay. Went up over Cozart, tipped it to himself, back out, and a new shot clock for the Toppers.
So where the clock starts to be a real factor in this. Tops take advantage of a few more seconds of possession here.
Tough catch by Lander. EKU going for everything, trying to get the steal. Marshall's 3, way too strong. You could tell when he let it go.
I'm not sure that's the shot you want in this situation.
Here's Blanton. And a blocking foul. Bang, bang play, and they'll call it on the defense, and Newman will pick it up.
Yeah, that won't be a popular call here in Diddle Arena, but I think it's the correct call. Newman did a good job of getting over. He just didn't get over there far enough. Blanton able to create that contact off the bounce. Still not in the bonus yet. That's 5 team fouls on WKU.
A lot of cleanup down there.
Cleanup aisle 7.
After that collision, McHenry will head to the bench for a moment. We'll see him back out there soon. 3:03 to go. Walker gets it into Cozart. And now to Cooper. Under 3 to go. EKU's got to get it going as Western has built their biggest lead of the ball game here late in the second half. Walker, tough shot, won't go. Hanging in the air. And Newman able to stay up there longer and pull down the board.
The shot defended well by Lander that time from Walker.
Don't need to go quickly here. Run a little clock, passing game. Marshall's going to drive to the hole unless you get a layup, and he put it in.
I know you were going to finish that thought with that, Barry.
If they're going to part it and open it up the lane, go ahead and take it. We'll go for that. Straightaway 3, Moreno. Up high for the board is Wu Marshall. Now it's Jackson. Marshall finds Fay open, and the shot is blocked.
By Walker.
Walker climbing up the back, got the block. Now quickly for the 3, Cooper, and he got it. Final timeout called by EKU. Third 3 of the night for Colin Cooper, their transfer from Central Arkansas. And EKU still a bit on life support with 2:05 to go. They've at least cut it down to 10 now, but they are out of timeouts.
Let's see who's got the conditioning and the push here down the stretch. This is where your bench can be such a big factor as well. Who can you, if somebody needs a breather, who can you put in a situation that you have trust in, that you're not going to lose anything on the defense or the offensive end of the court? Game like this, lots of adrenaline, lots of energy, really can take it out of you over the course of time. And you see guys getting a little breather here on the sidelines.
Any foul by EKU is going to be 2 free throws the rest of the way. Tops just the 5 team fouls. But they'll be content to run some clock. EKU will come like they've done all night with all-out pressure, probably trapping a little bit more. And we're going to have to, if you're a Western Kentucky fan, you're going to have to hit some free throws to get out of here with a win.
Now, EKU with no timeouts left. It's important to remind your guys over on the sideline, I'm sure they are, that if you have trouble getting the ball in any situation, you've got to get it in. There's no bailout with a timeout called. So I wonder, because of that, if Western will challenge an inbounds pass after a made shot.
Pretty sure we'll see Don McHenry get back in as well. He went to the bench a moment ago, but at 87% free throw shooter. Tyrone Marshall at 81% on the years. Very early in the season as well for these numbers. And Dante Allen at 83%. We'll see who breaks the huddle. Looks like it's going to be Lander, Newman, Fay, Marshall, and Jackson.
Yeah, no McHenry in this situation. That surprises me just a little bit.
Inbound it to Newman. Ukamata, Cooper, Walker, Blanton, Cozart, the 5-4 EKU. Here's a trap Jackson. He almost went over and back.
Got to get both feet and the ball over before. And Coach Hamilton was trying to bring that to the officials' attention there.
Lander left open 3, off the mark. He's had a couple of chances to put a dagger in. And a back tap and an offensive board. Yeah. And we'll get the foul on Walker.
That was Marshall up high. Could not get the rebound, but did the next best thing, and that's poke it out deep, let your teammates get it. So the Tops preserve the possession. And Brandon Newman will go to the free throw lines for some more free ones. He's 6 of 6 there tonight. So if the broadcaster's curse holds through, then he should miss, right? Because I just talked about being perfect.
Oh,
see, I don't believe in it.
It's lifted.
I thumbed my nose at it.
You've healed me now, after all these years. It's been about 20 years since we did a game.
Yeah,
so
it's been a long time.
That's been the issue right there. Here's the second for Newman. Good again.
Tops have been good at the free throw line tonight, 73%.
Quick 3, Cooper hit one out front. He missed this one out in the left corner. And a grab by Blanton. First foul on Devontae.
Marshall with the weak side rebound. Chance to add to this 12-point WKU lead. So the curse looks like it will continue for EKU since 1978. They've not won in this building.
So Marshall to the stripe. Had his minutes limited with 2 very early fouls, quick fouls in the ball game, went to the bench. But I thought one of the biggest sparks to the start of the second half was Wu getting to stay on the floor. He really ignited the run that the Tops got on here in the second half. I knew I would do it eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Yeah, he and Marshall and Jackson, I thought, were really integral in getting that thing started for the Hilltoppers in the second half. Oh, that's a travel.
Yeah, Blanton, the extra step. Won't go. Rimmed out on him. 78-64. We near the 1-minute mark. EKU, I thought, would really turn up the pressure, and they haven't. Letting Jackson just pound the dribble. Now they come for the trap. Jackson on the bounce, trying to go backdoors Newman. We get a kick ball. And you love that if you're Steve Lutz and WKU.
8 turnovers in the first half for the Hilltoppers. Only 3 this half have been another part of the difference in this game.
And Newman will draw the foul. Number 2 on Blanton.
went and grabbed the jersey of Newman as he went by, so Newman will go to the stripe again. Again, he's 8 for 8.
So for EKU, their first road game, they're going to play UNC Greensboro coming up. Their next game, they're going to have quite a few road games as they played their first 5 at home. And they've got some tough competition coming up as Newman finally misses a free throw today. They're going to play at Louisiana, at Troy in a return game, and then they go to Bama and go to Purdue before conference play in January. Whew. Second one goes for Newman. Tops are going to stay perfect here at home. Go to 4-0. Moreno's had a quiet day. This 3 off the mark. Blanton the rebound. Puts it up and puts it in. Again, no timeouts for EKU. WKU pep fan with the keys out. Ready to help start the vehicles for the Colonels to head back to Richmond, as they'll go back with another defeat. Have not won here since 1978. And WKU will get their 60th win with only 15 defeats in this series in Bowling Green against the Colonels.
Well, this is a good win for the Hilltoppers. It's a tough matchup, and they've shot so poorly on the season, but able to shoot pretty well tonight. 41% from the game, 44% from beyond the arc. 75% at the free throw line, so they've been able to do some things better tonight that they've struggled with on the season.
So EKU to inbound it with 8 seconds to go, and Walker, who's had a big ball game, hits the 3. 24 for him. And Newman's going to dribble it out. That will do it. 79-69. WKU, despite being down 7 points at the break, Steve Lutz's team came out, really turned it up defensively. They shot the ball well tonight, and they get a big win against a good basketball team.
Yeah, EKU's going to have a good season. There's a reason they're picked by a large margin to win the ASUN Conference. So Toppers outscored 43-26 in the second half, and that's one in the bank for WKU.
The Kentucky 8-1-1 play of the game tonight, and this is what really got things going for WKU. They're doing it with points off turnovers. This was a beauty.
I love the outlet pass off the seat of his pants. Brandon Newman with nearly to half court. He had an easier pass to Jackson, who was standing right beside him, but he got it down the court and got the play started, and that was quite a play.
Our Franklin Bank & Trust player of the game, Don McHenry. He really got the Tops off to the good start with 16 in that first half. He finishes with 18 tonight, but he had to handle all-out pressure most of the evening as well.
Yeah, Don is, as I mentioned, McHenry has been the most consistent player for the Hilltoppers on the season. He was 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 from long range tonight. He only went to the free throw line once, but he did a fine job of igniting this first half run for the or keeping the Hilltoppers closer in the first half.
The guys come by and fist bump everybody after a great performance this evening. So Western Kentucky's going to go to 6-3 on the year, but 4-0 here at home. And the Colonels fall to 3-3 on the year. They lose their first road game of the season. 19 for Brandon Newman, 18 for Don McHenry, 14 for Christian Lander. And the Tops get the victory today over EKU in the 161st meeting. Final score, Western Kentucky 79, Eastern Kentucky 69. For Hal Schmidt, I'm Barry Gresham. Good night, everybody.